One of the things that's kind of cool about it is if you're holding it in your hand, the fisheye, the way that it's set up somehow, it sort of eliminates your hand. Did you notice that in the video? If you're,
Yeah.
there's a little area there and it stitches it all together, so your hand almost doesn't show up. So that's kind of cool and strange at the same time. It's like your hand doesn't appear in the video. I don't know how they made that little bit of magic happen either, but there you go. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, that's to me. This has got me as excited as my first GoPro was. And so what I imagine is going to happen, I imagine 2 or 3 years from now, we'll be having this same conversation with an 8K version of this, and it will be stunning. It will be just as good as what you've always dreamed. It will look like that GoPro video that we all love, only you'll be able to see it in 360 degrees. Because I can't believe that I think GoPro's made a big mistake by trying to sell you 6 cameras strung together in a weird looking cube for $5,000. When you can go buy this, it's 1/4 as good a resolution, but it's so much cheaper, and it's very satisfying. And I think Samsung, all they got to do is jump to the next level. I'd say in 2 years we're going to have an 8K version of this, and it'll change everything. So,
I was looking at GoPro the other day. I think what was some website. I was just doing some searching around to see what they've got going on at the moment, and they had posted a 360 video of people swimming with sharks. I don't know if you managed to see it.
Yeah, you sent it to me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I reckon because GoPro were thinking about bringing out an 8K camera. So I wonder if they're going to be a game changer with the GoPro 5 and bring out a 360 8K camera, because that's the only way they can take the market now, because the market's pretty well shot for them right now.
Did you look at what they are trying to sell for their virtual reality? I mean, it's very cool. It's a cube thing that's kind of looks like it's made out of maybe carbon fiber or something. It looks very lightweight, but they position 6 GoPros in it, Hero 4s.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the video in it is incredible. It looks great. If you watch some of those on the ski slopes, and the videos, it looks fantastic in your direction you look. So, this thing does not touch that. But like I say, for the money, this is for the one that's for all the rest of us that can't afford $5,000 of VR, but we can afford less than $400, and get into the game and start having some real fun with it. The thing I was wondering, I think the Hero 5 will probably be 8K. That's what I hear. And whenever it comes out, and I figure the reason what's going to be really great about that is for the drone guys, because I think they're going to. Nobody will be doing an 8K camera unless DJI gets really, on the ball with it. Then GoPro may have the only 8K affordable drone. I'm saying, using a Hero 5. But then again, if you're buying a Hero 5 and it's 8K, then the 3DR guys, the solo guys, will be able to mount one on there. But brother, I'm looking at that 4K video and stuff you shoot with the Phantom 4, and it looks awesome. I don't know why you'd even care to go beyond that, unless there's just some, I don't know. Why would you go to 8K unless you were thinking some virtual reality something, powering it up. If GoPro could do the same sort of thing, if they could put that 8K technology into this, if it was just a 4K on this side and a 4K on this side, that would be pretty amazing. As I gather, I guess these are probably 2.7K each side, and that by the time it stitches together, it equates to 4K. I'm thinking that's what you've got with this.
So how is it? Is it a waterproof camera that you can you put it on top of your car and drive in the rain, or?
No, I don't think so at all. As a matter of fact, if I were going to say one criticism of it, is you better be darn careful with this. My GoPro, I've bounced them off the concrete. They're just tough as crap. This lens looks like it is very vulnerable. I have to say, I'm being very gingerly with it. And now the unit itself, it feels like it's as heavy as like a half of a baseball. I'd say that's maybe as heavy as a baseball. It's pretty heavy. It's smaller than a baseball. It's probably maybe 2/3 the size of one. But it's heavy. It's got some heft to it, and it looks like it's built really well. But that bit of plastic or glass or whatever's on the front, that just looks super vulnerable to me. So I worry about the durability of it. I just have to start being more careful with it. I would not want to get it wet. I'm sure there's a bunch of people hustling to get some third-party gear to cover this with so you can go underwater. That'd be great to take underwater. The thing I did notice yesterday when Nikki and I were driving around shooting through the glass in the car, it still looked pretty awesome. You know, you could see me and Nikki sitting around in the car, and then you could see outside the glass and through the windows, and just you could see just basically anything we were talking about. You could actually spin around and look at it. So I maybe just you know, in other words, shooting through glass is not going to be weird. If you had some sort of housing, a sphere that you could put it in, that'd be great. I found
those lenses, are those, can you unscrew those covers off the lens? Because that looks like the front of it is just, or can they be changed? Because if you just scratch that, that's absolutely knackered.
You know, you're right. And, you know, to answer your question, I don't know, but there's a curious little thing on here. Can you see a tiny little notch right up here where my finger is?
Mm.
And so it's on this side, and look over here. Same kind of thing on the other side over here. I'm wondering if
microphone, isn't it?
Well, I know the microphone is actually, I think these dots, one of these two dots here, I think this dot here is a microphone. You got stereo on this side, and you don't have any mics on the other side. So you got on your front side, which this is your front side, and the way you know your front is your door is to the left of your front side. So that's your front side. You got stereo mics. So this to me looks like some place where you put a little tool, insert it to pop that cover off. So although I don't know that to be true, Rich, I just suspect that would be something. I'm not going to try to do it, but that looks like something you could use to get in there. And if you had to switch something out, I don't know. It just looks like something off of 2001: A Space Odyssey, doesn't it? It looks like Hal. You know, you look great today, Rich. So,
yeah, I think
I just dropped it. It went rolling around like a cue ball. Crap. Okay, I think it survived.
I think that would be my next purchase. Would probably be a 360 camera of sorts. I don't know which one it will be, but I think Samsung got it stuck with the 4K because of the two cameras. I know Kodak had them. I don't see many Kodaks around. Whether they pulled it or not.
There's a Ricoh that's very popular. But again, its maximum resolution is 1080p. So in other words, your wraparound field of view is only 1080p video. So this is 4 times that. A 4K would be, so with this is the only one to my knowledge that's not crazy expensive. It's the only one that's affordable to my knowledge that does 4K resolution. And that's why it was something I just jumped at. I said, okay, I can't afford the drone right now. That day's coming when I'll be able to afford one. But right now, I could afford a really cool something like this and get in early on it, and start posting some VR videos, because a lot of places I want to go back to, and I want to give people that chance to look around in these places, and choose what they want to see. So even if it's not super sharp.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's not super sharp, and I'm quite fussy when it comes to that. But I quite like the idea of being able to see around you, and I think coming out, I would probably say just under 720, somewhere around that area. I think it works fine. Because, 720 5 years ago would have all been raving about it.
I know, we'd have been happy as the dickens for it. One of the things I think is going to be fun, Rich, I've not done it yet, but I'm going to enjoy going to a jam session with some of my friends, and say I have 3 or 4 musicians I'm playing music with, and just put this in the middle. And maybe have a microphone left or right so that I could get what's coming off the drums, coming off the bass, coming off the guitars, whatever. But wouldn't it be cool if you're, everybody, a different musician? One of the things I don't like about watching music videos is there'll be a guitar solo or something, and whoever shot the video will go to the drummer, or he'll close up on the singer, or he'll go to the bass player or the keyboard player, and I want to see that guitar solo. And if this thing were sitting in the middle and everybody's playing around it, then you as a musician, if there's a mandolin, a bass, a fiddle, and a guitar, and somebody beating on some sort of drum, whatever music you're into, you go watch that guy. And to me, that is cool. It's cool that this would start changing video so that it's not about the one that produces the video, it's about the one that watches the video. So that to me is cool. You know, a guy and a girl might go watch the same driving video I do, and there's a good-looking guy to the left, and there's a good-looking girl to the right, you know, and that guy can go watch that girl, the girl can watch the guy, or, you know, as it goes these days, the guy can watch the guy and the girl can watch the girl. It's whatever. Or you can watch that dog taking a crap. Whatever you're into.
Whatever floats your boat.
Right.
So could you film with that camera 360 and then cut it up to what you wanted to see on the screen? So say you're filming a band and there's a drum solo. Could you cut to that person in the video? And just have them and then go back again to...
What you've got, now what you could do, because it's a cool question you're asking there. In Premiere, you know, you can slice each piece of video. So say we got say we got a 3-minute song and there are 5 people playing that music. But you want to start out with the focus on the singer. Maybe it starts out with just a singer singing a few notes.
Mm.
You could cut that piece of video, take that offset tool, and offset it so that the singer is dead center. So that when the person watching the video, if we leave it VR, in other words, but the first thing going to pop up there is the person singing. Let's say a gentle guitar solo or something comes in to the right or over here, where you can cut the video again. The next clip, use your offset and slide it over to where the guitar player is, and automatically, even though it's the same piece of video, it would go right to that guitar player. But still, if the person chooses to look left or right, they can look at the singer or the bass player or the drummer or whatever. But you, as the producer, can direct what they're going to be looking at. Even though it's the same piece of video, you just have to change that offset tool each time. And I'll definitely be doing a tutorial that shows how to do that. And what I might do, Rich, for fun, this would be kind of fun. Maybe I'll give you about a 30-second clip of this video. I'll go ahead and render it out of something. Tell me what you'd like to see over here. Where would you like for me to get you a piece of clip of video? And I'll put this on my Google Drive so you can download it. You can play with it yourself, and you can start seeing how virtual reality video works. And then you can, even before you got a camera, you can be playing around with it. But is there some place out here you'd like to see me take this thing to?
Well, to save you going anywhere special, just your garden video that you shot would probably be useful to do. Just have a little play around with. That would be great.
Let me give you about 30 seconds of it so that it won't be like forever before you download it. Because like I said, I've got a 5-minute one that's 3.5 gigs out there right now rendering out. So the videos are big. Yeah, they're big. It's big 4K video. So 5 minutes of video is going to be 3 gigs. You know, and then once YouTube takes it, it's going to still knock it down 10 times compression. But and that is frustrating when you know it looks a lot better than it really does, and you're seeing, you're seeing it about 1/3 quality, because even though the YouTube compression is super compressed, it still looks pretty good. They compress it 10 times, but you only probably lose 2/3 of the quality. So it's still okay, it's still acceptable.